he's correct. You need 3 jobs in order to get You name for me, anybody in the audience, the serious job training program that's ongoing. Now I see Erg, Minnie, and several people in the audience that know that we had a period right here in this county when we had significant job training programs going on. Not to take anything away from the OIC program that's ongoing and the Urban League. They do an incredibly good job. But at the very same time, there are no federal funds that are directed towards serious job training about what the future looks like. Look, people, we're getting ready to go into artificial intelligence as a method that's going to replace human beings as working people. Now, if we're not trained up for those particular measures, if we're not trained in the area of solar energy and green energy, if we're not trained I like to say when I speak to high school students, don't worry about coding and inputting to the computer. Learn how to fix that sucker, because they are going to break. And if we're not trained up on those kind of things, let alone on the kinds of jobs that they're talking about. Now, I'm not decrying the fact that people are working at McDonald's and Burger King and Walmart and Costco and what have you, but they're not getting benefits, and they can't look forward to any pension. They can't look forward to any upward mobility. So that disparity that Oscar just spoke about is real. And what did we do? We gave rich people real significant increases in their wealth. We gave corporations money that they didn't need. And the fact of the matter is, look, anybody in here over 50 will remember that money was supposed to, when Reagan and those did this identical thing, money was supposed to trickle down. Well, hell, it never did trickle down. And it ain't going to trickle down now. And you can't necessarily fault people. So we're our best bet to overcome this. And I'm sorry it took a long time to say that. But the fact of the matter is, we have not improved substantially. And in addition, we have a significant number of people that can't even get one of those jobs, and that's why, and I know we'll get to it, but that's why in November we need to make sure that we have the restoration of felon rights in our hearts and in our heads.
Thank you, Congressman Hastings. Anyone else want to address that one? And I know I wouldn't want to follow that either. I'm just saying. But what we want to talk about is what Congressman Hastings just brought us into, and that's education. So let's talk about education. What does the future look like for HBCUs when President Trump pledged to make HBCUs a priority in the White House, but he supported a tax bill that could trigger dramatic cuts in programs that provide funding for HBCUs, Hispanic serving institutions, etc. Can I get you to start with that, Ms. Jackson?
I've worked with HBCUs probably for the last 15 years with funding. Florida is one of the few states, thanks to these guys right here, that get state funding for private institutions. So Florida Memorial, Edward Waters, and Bethune-Cookman combined get about $15 million in the budget. That being said, on the federal level, some of the state institutions that are also HBCUs are having a bigger challenge. But it's a double-edged sword. One is that we have a responsibility. We that support HBCUs, we haven't been given the way that we need to give. We've got to be more and more reliant on governmental funding, which has not kept up with the marketing and the selling of the university. So you have a lot more competition now. And I'm not making an excuse, but those are some of the things that have come full fruition. We also have some policy things that make it very difficult for HBCUs to get funded. For example, in Tallahassee, with families, some of it is the metrics that's used, not the net amount of money. I don't know if we were asleep or the kind of in-grade discrimination, that affected graduation rates and all things like that cause us to fall short. But I can tell you, we have to look at better ways. Even the funding that we get in Tallahassee for those private institutions now makes up about 10% of their budgets. And that is a very dangerous place to be. And I can be assured that if the person that's running against Andrew Gillum wins the governor's mention, he will not be giving us $15 million.
That's not gonna happen.
And so you're talking about 10% of their overall funding being cut. So we need to get more and take some responsibility for the financial demise of HBCU.
Y'all heard that? Yeah. I just want to make sure. So when we say that our schools are not being funded, we need to make sure that we understand elections have consequences.
Absolutely. I agree with everything that Ms. Cash stated in regards to this, and Oxford can attest that it is a fight every session to make sure that those dollars are in the budget. I'm going to take a different approach. Lydia told me she was keeping it real with you all day. When it comes to our HBCUs, it is really the heart of who and what we are and where we are today. Now, I attended a PWI, but I understand, but for a HBCU, I wouldn't have been afforded that opportunity. When you stop back and you look at it, and you think about corporate America, for example, and you look at your top executives, majority of them have attended HBCUs. And so it's important that we do our part. And the reason why I want to just put this out there is because a lot of times we talk about from the policy standpoint of it, but we have some culpability and some responsibility as well. We don't do as good of a job as we should to support our HBCUs. So it's twofold. And the fact that as an elected official, we have to shape the policy and fight. But as folks in this room, we got to understand the importance of our HBCUs. And although we were talking about the different metrics and so forth, right now is a very critical time because the importance of our HBCUs, so it's reading an article, right? And so it's showing that the majority of our young folks, the next generation, is looking towards our HBCUs because of the climate that we live in, because of 45, and they're not feeling comfortable. They're going to these PWIs and they're not seeing themselves, they're not feeling represented, and so they're trying to find a place where when they go to further their education, they can feel safe. So that is another aspect of the importance of HBCUs. I think that probably walking away today, we'll continue to do the fight, and we'll fight, and we'll make sure that the dollars are there. But as a community, we have to shape the narrative to understand how important our HBCUs are today more so than ever before.
Let me weigh in, Lydia, if I can. Oh, Principal.
Yeah, Pastor Wilson.
I'm sorry, Anthony, anytime I want to give all my time to the Caucus and
Pastor, I would thank you so very much, but people like me standing in the need of prayer need to hear from preaching. That said, I want to make it very clear that the federal budget for schools in America is less than 7%. Actually, it's 6.8% of the monies that are provided. Footnote there, here in Broward and in Palm Beach County, the voters did step up on some local matters. The question then becomes accountability and how those monies are spent. That's not the HBCU that you ask about, Lydia. The congressional